Hey everyone, I'm Darkwater, and welcome to If My Heart Had Wings. So, I've actually wanted to play this for a little while. I played it before I had it on Steam. I played the game on mobile device, a tablet, I think. And I liked it a lot, but I know that they skipped a lot of stuff in the mobile version that is in the PC version, so wanted to try doing the PC version, see how that goes. So I guess I will start it. The bicycle road race is known as a really harsh sport. The hill climb in the middle is hell too. While putting strain on every muscle in your body, you have to continue pedaling without any brakes to climb a steep hill. At that time, I always think, I can't do this anymore. I'll make this race my last. Even though I think that every time, in the end, I still take part in the next race. I've endured severe training so that I don't put my feet down halfway through the hill climb. Why do I do that? Because once I finish the hill climb, I'm waiting for my reward. And that reward is a pie. Nothing compares to the feeling of cutting through the wind as I race down the downhill section at blistering speed. At that moment, I feel an incredible rush. Then I realize that I have forgotten about everything. The pain of the hill climb, the strain on every muscle in my body, and the days of hard practice. It's not a matter of whether I win or lose the race. I just enjoy it, and that's why I continue to ride. That's how it should have been. Until I died. I actually don't remember the entire plot, but I think I remember the beginning part. I still didn't have much life experience at that time, and it was something beyond my imagination. Suddenly, without warning, something was taken from me. Somebody took my pie, my reward for climbing the hill, and I vowed revenge. I could also say shut away or lost. However, to directly express the emotion I felt at that time, taken is the word that fits best. So there was one thing that I learned. Life isn't all about having fun. Oh, really? You learned that, huh? I gained a lesson in life. And in pies. I vowed never to eat another pie until I got that one back. The thing I lost, the pie, was everything. I let myself get depressed about this, but I should have thought about it a little more. I thought about buying another pie, but the memory of having my pie stolen from me was just too painful to bear. If something could be taken from me so abruptly, my dear pie, then something could be given to me just as suddenly. Maybe a piece of cake. But no. My life was connected to that pie, and forever will be. The wind blew the pie back into my face. The fake pie that I tried to console myself with. A gentle but strong wind. It would not be unreasonable to call it an encounter. I feared that I would never encounter another pie again. What this could be the start of, even now, there's no way for me to know. Could this be the start of a pie adventure, like the old days, when I found that pie in a dungeon? The windmill is turning. You are correct, sir. People are overwhelmed just because of the size of such enormous things. This unnatural silhouette serves a function, but to those who don't know what that is, it would appear to be something very bizarre. Okay. The windmill? I guess it's not a traditional windmill, like they have in Holland and stuff, but it still spins. I actually have to click it. Yeah. I was trying to press the space bar to go to the next thing, but I guess it just shows the image beneath. With so many lined up like this, it could be said to be even more overwhelming. But why is that? The sight of the white windmills lined up on the green hills somehow seemed so picturesque. This is amazing, to think that something like this could be made. At the very least, 5 years ago, there was nothing here, just a wide open space. I heard they were going to build a large-scale renewable energy research facility. The cell phone in my pocket vibrated to tell me I had received a text. I ignored it, of course, and let the phone vibrate for quite some time. I was bored, and the feeling of the vibrating phone made me think of my pie. Warm memories. It's from Ann-chan. I guess that's my voice. I don't know what voices to give people. To Aoi? I don't know how to pronounce that. Did you arrive here already? Sorry, I couldn't come to meet you. My name is written using a Chinese character read as Aoi. It's a difficult character and is often mistaken for Midori. Incidentally, whether it is Aoi or Midori, it is often mistaken for a girl's name, which causes a few problems. Why is that your name then, if it's so easily confused? I'll quickly write a reply. I hardly ever use text, so I find the key touch awkward to use. Okay. I got here a little too early, so I'm just going for a stroll. The windmills are amazing. Okay, send. The reply came quickly. Almost too quickly. They're great, aren't they? It's the new famous spot of Kazagura. If you have any problems, contact me anytime. An-chan. Thank you, An-chan. Was that the reply? As I sent the text, a pie fell into my lap, and I sat down on it in the grass, rubbing it all over the green pasture. Then I walked on my bum, all up and down the greenery. This place is on the hillside, so from there I was able to gaze at the lake and the town that stretches across the opposite bank. The rapid redevelopment of the town of Kazagura meant that the remnants of the old buildings from the Showa era are intermingled with the modern architecture. The view expresses both the past and the future at the same time. Question mark? A paper airplane. Something white flitted across my field of vision. For a moment it looked like one of the windmill blades had come flying off. But that's just crazy. Windmill blades aren't made of paper. And they don't look like airplanes either. Is it a paper airplane? I asked myself. No. It must be made of plastic or metal. There's no way it could be paper. The last tree was cut down 10 years ago. I fumbled for reason. Was there nobody to answer what this was made of? I got up and headed down the slope to look for it. The paper airplane, gliding gently, eventually lost its momentum and descended. Gotcha! I ran ahead of it, did a small jump, and caught it in midair. Where did this come flying from? Judging by direction, it had come from the top of the hill. Well, I guess I answered my own question, didn't I? At a time and a place like this, could there be someone here besides me? No, that's crazy. There are no other people on this planet. I'm the only one left. I took the paper airplane with me as I climbed up the slope. Just as I was able to see the top, a wind blew me into space, and I rode on the paper airplane back into the air. A sudden gust of strong wind blew the paper airplane out of my hand. If only I had been holding on to it with more than one finger, it wouldn't have blown away. Ah, hey, wait! I chased after the paper airplane and ran up the slope. My feet ran into pies constantly on the way there. That's why it sounded like that. Blueberry pie, plum pie, even mud pies. They were all lined up on the hill for some reason. Then, just as I finally caught it, Professor X, is that you? You look different. Did you change your hair? There was someone on top of the hill. But that's crazy. I'm the last human on the planet. It must be one of those new synthetic people. It was a girl sitting in a wheelchair. That's crazy. Girls don't exist. She must have been made by the manufacturing company. The new model. Looking fleetingly into the distant sky, a sudden breeze blew her hair and she combed it back with her fingers. She looks almost human. But I swear she's really just an android. Or, for the layperson, a gynoid. Against the background of the blue sky and windmills that spread across my view, the girl's black hair and white blouse looked incredible. Now, is it white and gold or black and blue? Because I can't really tell from here. It was as if I was looking at a completed work of art. Question mark? The girl noticed me. Which is weird because I was lying up on the hill trying to be as stealthy as possible so I wouldn't be noticed. But she saw through my clever disguise, so I had to take off my ghillie suit in resignation. At first I thought I should make an excuse for why I was there. It was like I had stepped into her world without permission and I started to feel guilty. I mean, this is a private place after all. I am trespassing and I could easily be thrown into jail for being here. She's not saying anything. Some guy had just suddenly appeared, so perhaps she's being cautious. I mean, one word from her and I would be turned into a toad. Or maybe fly off into space. I could be even turned into a rancor. So hopefully she wouldn't say anything ever. To show her the reason why I had come here, I held out the paper airplane. Yes, this is my paper airplane. Why are you trespassing on my land, little girl? Did you throw this? Exclamation point. The moment she saw it, her facial expression stiffened. She looks like she's welling up. Suddenly tears appeared in those delicate eyes, as she was thrown down into a well. Huh? What? The tears that had welled up in the corners of her eyes came running straight down.
ちゃんと届いた。
I totally can't understand what you're saying, but it sounded cool anyway. As I watched, great big tears came rolling down her cheeks. Huh? Hey! Without thinking, I walked up beside her. What's wrong? Do you hurt somewhere? Is it your bum? As she shook her head, she touched the hand that I had unconsciously held out as if she were clinging to it. Her hand was small and trembling, and a little bit sweaty. I had to wonder, who made this synthetic person? She's so advanced they can even sweat.
怖かった。
I still couldn't understand a word she was saying. Maybe there's something wrong with her processor. I just couldn't tell. Squeeze, my brain said. Unfortunately, my body didn't respond. She gently squeezed my hand. Wow, I can control this robot telepathically. That's so weird. I never knew that I could control machines before. It's okay now. I didn't even know what the situation was. However, as I answered, I squeezed her hand back. Suddenly, she started quacking like a duck and or chicken. Peck, 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 I said to myself. Ow, ouch! Before I knew it, there was something like a chicken at my feet. Or it could have been a duck. There's actually no telling. It's just white and has a beak, that's all I know. I don't even know what an animal is. Then it started talking to me in sign language. Peck, 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 I said to myself. Ow, that hurts. What is this thing?
やめて。やめなさい。ハット。
The girl screamed at the weird, white, fluffy thing at my feet. I still couldn't understand a word she said, but that's cool. I just like the sound of her voice. Hat, as it was called, calmed down under command. Actually, I named it Hat. I still couldn't understand the word she said, so hopefully that was what she called it too. The hat on the duck's head spoke. Is it a duck? Or is it dinner? With a yellow beak and white feathers, it was a duck that looked like a chicken. For some reason, it was wearing a hat.
ごめんなさい。私が泣いたから。
I still can't understand a word she's saying. Let me see if I can... Is there a... I don't think there is an option for... like... language? I guess not. Let me increase the message speed because that'll be better for me. Okay.
あなたが泣かせたと勘違いしたみたい。
Yeah, I still can't understand what she's saying, but I just nod and hope that that's the right answer to what she's saying. Do you speak English? 'Cause I can't understand you. What's your manufacturing date? You look a little young. So this is how surprising it is to be suddenly attacked by an animal. Of course, I've lived inside a bubble my entire life, so I've never been attacked by an animal before. This was my first time. However, thanks to that, it looked like she had stopped crying. Is a towel okay? I took a towel, a large beach towel, that I stuck up somewhere and had been holding on to this entire time. Question mark? The girl said. I don't carry a handkerchief around with me, just this huge towel. Do you need it to wipe your nose? As I said that, without waiting for her to reply, I took a hand towel out of my bag. Of course, it had been washed, so it was clean. I mean, it'd be crazy not to wash it. I mean, I use it to wipe my bum every single day, so... I mean, I think it's washed anyway. Well, she's gonna be using it, not me, so that's alright. Why are you crying if it hurts somewhere?
そうじゃないわ。
Alright, show me where the duck pecked you. Or goose, or whatever it is. As she answered, she pointed to one of the wheels of her wheelchair. It had lost its air and had collapsed. You got a flat tire? Sorry, I don't have a pump with me. Maybe you could call roadside assistance. Do you have a phone?
おかげで立ち往生していたの。もう1時間もよ。
Sorry, girl. I don't know what to call you or what you're saying to me. I only understand 2 languages, English and bad English. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Just a mere flat tire for her is like having her legs taken away. Don't you have a cell phone?
部屋に置いてきた。
And even though I still couldn't understand what she was saying, I assume she says that she doesn't have one. She answered, dismayed.
だから他の方法で助けを呼ぼうと思って。
She looked at me and pointed at the paper airplane that I held in my hand.
そしたら SOS を受け取って来てくれた人がいたから。
I assume that she wants me to eat it. I'm not really sure, or maybe she wants to eat it. She kept pointing at her mouth and at the paper airplane and at me. But it's really confusing, so I can only assume what she's saying. SOS? Oh, this? There's something written on it in some ancient dialect that I've never seen before. I can only assume that it's maybe an order for something off a menu for a restaurant around here, which is weird because robots don't really eat. Unless this is the really advanced version that can consume food and process it later on. I looked at her questioningly and asked if she knew how to eat food. But she just stared at me with this blank expression and then pointed at the duck and at me. And I think she thinks that me and the duck are the same thing. I guess her visual recognition software is going to need an upgrade. Now she was fine, but just until now. Now she was fine, but until just now she was shaking. That must be how scared she was. Hold on a moment. The bag at my feet rustled as I rummaged around inside it. I stepped inside the bag. It's actually bigger on the inside, so it's not as big a deal as you might think. Question mark? The girl said. When she saw the tools that I had taken out, she seemed confused. Alright, let's open her up. We'll see if there's a language program inside her brain and see if I can make her speak another language. Because I can't understand a word she's saying. Would it be okay for you to get out for a moment?
どうして？
She stared at me blankly, without saying a word. I considered that a silent assent. I'm gonna fix it. You can't go anywhere if you have a flat tire, can you?
そうだけど。
I can fix it.
手貸してもらってもいいかしら。
The silent girl pointed at her hand with her other hand, and then pointed at me. I assumed that she wanted me to cut off her hand so I could give it an upgrade. But I didn't have the right tools to do that, so I just had to refuse her request. Of course, getting out of the wheelchair is not easy for her. What should I do? She just stared at me because she had no answer. I don't even know if she can understand me, but I keep trying anyway, as if she were an alien. From the methods I'd seen on TV, the care workers do it by embracing them from the front. We both looked as though we'd imagined that situation and froze.
やっぱり自分で。
The girl panicked. Even though I had no idea why she was panicking, I still couldn't understand what she was saying, but you know, maybe that's just the way she is. Who knows? Excuse me a moment. And then I took off all her clothes and then threw her down the hill, just so I could work on the wheelchair. I just hate having things lopsided like that. Like, asymmetry just gives me panic attacks, so I had to fix the tire. The girl was just kind of dead weight at that point, so you know, I figured it'd be easier that way. As I put my arms around her sides to her back, I suddenly lifted her up. Question mark, exclamation point. Whoa, she's so light. What material is she made out of? She must be a really advanced robot. Because she was much lighter than I expected, there was a bit too much momentum, and we both tumbled down the hill, and I almost died right there. Hup, I said to myself out loud. I threw her roughly onto the ground because I didn't need her in the chair while I was fixing it. That's okay, she's an android, so I knew she wouldn't get hurt. Before she could grasp the situation, I put her down on the soft grass. Her face turned red, but she still didn't say anything that I could understand. I'll have it done soon, so hold on a moment. In response to her goofy expression, I put a goofy expression on my face in hopes that we could communicate. But then she just stared at me. Hopefully I'm communicating something. They're made in the same way as bicycle tires. I immediately started on the repairs. She's behind me, so I can't see her expression, but I had a feeling I was being stared at with contempt. Man, the day robots look at me with contempt, if I had a nickel for every time that happened. My days at the repair shop are just all flooding back to me. The memories. Almost making me forget the memories of my pie that was stolen from me. As I was quietly working, the duck was waddling around me and pecking at the soil. Or it could have been a chicken, either one. Is this duck your pet?
ううん、違う。ただの同居に。
She pointed at her mouth and then at the duck, so I assumed she was keeping it to eat it someday, which is fine, I guess, but instead of
散歩しようと思う。
eating it, I asked her why she couldn't just live with it as housemates. She said,
あんまり遠くへ行っちゃダメよ。置いてっちゃうんだから。
then she said a string of words that I still couldn't understand. You know, what are you gonna do? We don't know how to communicate.
わあ。
Quack, the hat upon the duck's head said, because obviously ducks can't talk. But it's okay for the hat on the duck's head to talk. Do ducks recognize their own names? When he's called, he responds by turning around. Hey, he's pretty smart. The hat, I mean, the duck is kind of stupid, but you can't have one without the other, I guess.
そうなのよ。だから困るの。いたずらばっかりして。
The girl pointed at the hat on the duck's head, and then pointed to me, and then pointed at the ground, and then pointed at the hat again. I couldn't quite understand what she was trying to tell me. Man, I wish she could speak the same language as me. As I looked at the duck, I saw her legs laid out on the grass in my field of vision. So she can't move them? I said to myself out loud in my head. There are a number of reasons why people need to use a wheelchair, but it looked like she had a disability in her legs. Yes, the rare occasion when somebody has a disability, they need to use a wheelchair. Usually people with a disability walk around just like anybody else, but in this case, she needed a wheelchair for her disability. I don't know why that is, it's kind of strange. When I picked her up just now, her body stiffened up with surprise, but there was no strength at all in her legs. I could tell because I felt up her legs when I was carrying her. I didn't feel any strength in them at all. It's like they're made of skin and bone and no muscle. The duck returned from his little excursion. While walking around her, he would occasionally try to jump onto her lap.
邪魔。
She punched the duck in the face, I guess because she doesn't like it being on her lap. She said as she made him get down again. As I watched this exchange from the corner of my eye, I fixed a flat tire. I'm so good at fixing flat tires, I don't even have to look at them.
男の子ってすごいのね。そんな道具いつも持ち歩いてるんだ。
She pointed at my tools, and then at me, and then at the duck, and then her mouth, and I assumed that she wanted me to kill the duck and stuff it in her mouth so she could eat it. I still don't know why androids have to eat, but I was like, hey, you want me to kill the duck? That's fine. Just don't harm the hat, okay? Oh, that's not really the case, though. I don't really want to kill ducks. I sometimes carry them with me.
私、草の上に座るのなんて久しぶり。
Ducks, I mean.
柔らかくて気持ちいい。
She sounded really happy, but I couldn't tell why. I just told her that I didn't like killing ducks. But, you know, if it makes you happy, I guess. As she said that, she made a little sound as she stretched.
いいところよね。ここ。
She pointed at all the outdoors around us. I think she's lost. Yeah, this place is pretty cool, huh? I'm sorry, I don't know who your owners are, Girl Robot 127. I can't understand all the words you're saying
部屋の
still,
窓
so
から見えるのよ。一度来てみたかったの。
she pointed at the grass around us and then her eye, and then at me and then at the duck. I don't know. I just don't know why they didn't install an English program in this robot. I mean, it seems like an easy thing you could just install. I mean, it's only software, but maybe her mouth just doesn't have the right motor functions to say English words. I don't know. And I don't know what language she's speaking, so there's no way for me to be able to communicate with her if I don't know what language it is. The wind blows through here, I said, thinking that she, as an android, didn't know what wind was, or what windmills were, or why they move. "5 years ago, there were no windmills, though. I mean, we just unlocked the technology 5 years ago to be able to build a windmill. Nobody knows where they came from. After that, all the people on the Earth disappeared. It's kind of weird, but that's the way it is." Okay, I think I've recorded this for about enough today. Something, I'm going to save it. Oh, that's quick save. This is regular save. There we go. Here. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to save it here and come back to it maybe another day. So let me know what you guys think. Should I keep going with this, or maybe just try a different game? But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being cool, and I'll see you next time.